Well, here we are at the 2013 Canterbury A&P Show. With me is Terry Copeland. Terry is the CEO of New Zealand Young Farmers. Welcome along there, Terry.
Yeah, thanks, Tony. Pleasure to be here.
Well, Terry, you haven't been the CEO for long, a new role for yourself?
Absolutely, yes. This is week 7, so brain's a little bit bruised by learning all the ins and outs of the rural sector. I come from the wine industry before now. So.
Oh, the wine?
Yeah, so I'm moving one step back, if you like, closer to the land.
Yeah.
And loving it.
So Terry, before we go any further, we're both supporting moustaches. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I got roped into it really. First day on the job, they said, New Zealand Young Farmers supports Movember. I went, great. It's a good thing. Men's health is very important. Rural sector is probably not the best represented in terms of men going to the doctor.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I thought, yep, great. Now, in the national office, we have 2 men. The rest are women. So I couldn't really say, I think it's a good idea, but you guys go and do it.
Yeah.
So, yep.
So your other colleague, he's got it going on?
He's got it going on too.
First mow for you?
First mow for me, yes.
For me too.
Yeah.
So what have you guys been busy at New Zealand Young Farmers over the last few months, since you cranked up?
Yep. So for me, the big learning is the fact that we've got to get the message out that farming, agriculture, primary industry is a valid career platform for young people. We've got a network of about 90 clubs.
90?
Yep, and that's for the 18 to 31-year-old bracket. So new onto the farm, perhaps they've moved up the ladder a bit and become farm managers. So it's a really, really strong network of mentoring within clubs and lots of activities and events that have a real social network basis. On top of that, we've got around about 45 secondary school clubs, which are mirrored same as a young farmers club, but age appropriate. Yeah. And the great thing working with secondary schools is that we can capture people young enough to show that agriculture and the whole primary industry is a valid career option. Yeah. But when I was at school, if you showed any kind of academic ability, you were steered away from subjects like agriculture. Whereas these days, the fact that there's agribusiness, there's technology, a lot of farms are based on robotics. There's such a lot to give. But we want farmers of all kinds. We've traditionally been that sort of dairy, beef and lamb centric. But we want crop farmers, we want arable, we want viticulture, we want potentially aquaculture and forestry, all to industries to sort of feed in. So I'm very much that sort of pan-industry focus.
Do you get a bit of inquiry from farmers looking for a top young guy or girl to?
Yeah, we do, and there's a two-way thing on that. We also get farmers who want to be mentors. And we've got young people who need mentoring. They're new into, maybe their father's passed away and they've suddenly inherited the family farm and they go, hell, what do I do now? Yeah. So we can actually match people up to experienced farmers. And it's a really nice network, and that's probably the best word for it.
These young people involved in Young Farmers, they get to 31, they've got to
age out,
shuffle on, but there must be involvement that they can get in and help.
So we at the moment have supporters of young farmers, and I'm wanting to develop over the next 12 months an alumni, like a university system where graduates have gone out into the world but still have an allegiance and a passion for the organisation. And we've got a lot of people who in their 30s and 40s still have a lot of passion that turn up to events and stuff. So we want to harness that and utilise that strength. Yeah.
And the Young Farmer of the Year competition?
Very big.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's our showcase event. Been around since 1969. So
have I.
Yeah, I've been roughly about then.
Yeah.
And it's what's really good about it. It's televised, so it has real focus. It's great for our sponsor network. But what it does for our young farmers is it gives them a massive challenge: physical, mental, being wise, being strong. There's no other rural challenge like it in the world. Again, it's unique. We get inquiries all the time, particularly from Australia, about people wanting to compete from there coming over to our competition.
Really?
At the moment we don't do that. In the future, if they got their own act together and then have a trans-Tasman rivalry, it'd be brilliant. Yeah. We've started the district final series at the moment, so there's 23 districts around the country, so at a very local level. They then feed into the 7 regions, so there'll be regional finals, and then one regional finalist will compete in July next year at the grand final, which will be at Lincoln in Canterbury
Oh, yeah.
for 2014.
No, I've heard of guys taking off months from work to study.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the winners of it are just amazing people. You know, if you ever want ambassadors for your industry, you just look at those young folk.